In this video, I'm going to walk you through Chapter 7 and Section 8.1 using StatCrunch. So I prepared an exercise that we're going to do together. Let me just start StatCrunch. So you just go to statcrunch.com and then you click on Stat, Calculators, and then Normal Calculator right there, and it's going to give you the screen that you are seeing right now. By default, you're going to see the normal distribution with the mean of 0 and standard deviation of 1. So if I ask you, for example, what's the probability of z less than 1.5? Since we are talking about z here, when you see 0, 1, it's a z distribution. You just put a 1.5 right here. And look, not only it will give you the answer, but it will shade the region that you want. Let's say I ask you to find the probability of z greater than 1.48. You just change the signs here to greater, and then put 1.48 right here, and then you get the probability, which is 0.069. Let's say I say find the area between z equals negative 1.2 and 1.7. So you just go to in between right here. What did I say? Negative 1.2 and 1.7, for example. Hit compute, and here you go. Not only you get the probability, but it shades the area for you. So when the question is about z, make sure that the mean and the standard deviation are set to 0 and 1. Let's go back to standard again. Let's say now I give you the probability, and then I want you to find the z-score. So now we're doing the inverse process. So let's say I say the probability, let's say the shaded region here, I give you the shaded region, let's say it's 15%. And I want you to find the z-score that corresponds, just to this area. So here's how you do it. Since I'm giving you the probability, you're not going to put anything in here in the first box. You're going to put it right here. So watch. So you put 0.15 right here. And since it's an area to the right, make sure that you have the greater sign and hit compute. And look what's going to happen. It's going to give you the z-score. So the z-score is 1.04. Not only, and it shades that for you. Let's say now the area to the left of the z-score is 0.22. And I want you to find that z-score. So look what you do, guys. You just do a less than. And the area is 0.22. And now it's going to give you a z-score. It's going to be negative. Look, it's right here. And that's the z-score, negative 0.77. Let's say if I ask you to find the z-scores in the middle 80% of the distribution. So in the middle, that means in between. So just do between here and put the 80% right there. And hit compute. And negative 1.28 is the first z-score. The second one is symmetric, will be 1.28. If I say middle 90%, just change this to 90 and hit compute. All right. Now let's go to our question. So normal distribution, the weights of adult males normally distributed with a mean of 172 pounds and a standard deviation of 20 pounds. What is the probability that a randomly selected adult male will have a weight less than 185 pounds? So we need the probability of X less than 185. Let's show you how to do that using StatCrunch. So I'm going to go back to StatCrunch. Okay, now we don't have 0, 1 for the mean and the standard deviation. I forgot what was the mean. 172 and standard deviation is 20. So remember that. So we're going to put 172. Standard deviation is 20. And I want the probability of X less than 185. So I'm just going to enter 185 right here. And oops, negative 185. And compute. And here's the probability 0.7422. Let's see the second question. What is the probability that a randomly selected adult male will have a weight of more than 190? So we need probability of X more than 190. Okay, let's go back to StatCrunch. So guys, more than, you have to change the sign here to more than and change the 185 to 190, hit compute, and here's the answer 0.1841. Let's see what the next question is. What's the probability that randomly selected adult male will weigh between 175 and 188? So X between 175 and 188. Okay, let's see what this answer is. Okay, I need the between here. Okay, choose X 175, the first one, 188. And you already have the mean and the standard deviation. Compute. And it's 0.2285. Did you notice that it shades even the region that you want between from 175 to 188? Look, it's beautiful. You got the shaded region. Okay, let's see what the next question is. Now we're talking about section 8.1. We're going to be working with samples now. Now I'm in section 8.1. Suppose that 25 adult males are selected. What's the probability that their mean weight is more than 190? So now it's not X, guys, anymore. It's about X bar, more than 190. And when we're doing a probability for the mean, the standard deviation changes. We have a new standard deviation, which is also called the standard error of the mean. It's sigma divided by square root of n. So I will no longer use the standard deviation of 20 that I put in the question. I have to use this one, which is 20 divided by square root. What's the sample size here? N is 25. So square root of 25, guys. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So we need probability of X bar greater than 190. Let me show you. Okay, so I need to go to standard again. Greater 190, I have it there. But look, if I do nothing, it's going to give you the same answer as before. I need to change the standard deviation, which is, we say it's 4. So compute, and now you get the answer. The probability is so small that you don't see any shaded region. It's 0.000034. That is the probability of X bar greater than 190. Let's go to the next question. What is the probability? Suppose 16 adult males are selected at random. What is the probability that they have a sample mean weight less than 170? So again, guys, this is about X bar. And I cannot use the original standard deviation. I have to use the standard deviation of the sample mean, which is sigma of X bar. It's sigma over square root of n. It's not the same as above, guys, because we changed the sample size. So it's going to be 20 divided by square root of 16, which is 20 divided by 4, which is 5. So let's see what this one is going to be. Let's go back. So I'm going to change this one to 5, as you notice. And less than, I choose the less than sign. 170. Using StatCrunch is a lot easier than using the calculator. And this is the probability. So the answer is 0.3446 if you round to 4 decimal places. Okay, next question. So these two questions, guys, pertain to section 8.1. Now we're back in chapter 7 now here. What weight would place an adult male in the top 15%? Top 15%, guys, means area to the right. I shaded that for you. So he gives you the area to the right 15%, and he wants the X value. And again, So now you have the probability. We know the probability, and we need to do inverse process and find x. Here's why you do it. Remember, this is an area to the right. So I'm going to go back to StatCrunch. I'll change this back to 20. And since it's an area to the right, guys, you put greater than. And we know the area, which is 15%. So I'm just gonna look, I'm gonna input on the right, not here. We usually input the X value here, but we don't have the X value. So I'm just gonna put a 15 here, and watch StatCrunch is gonna give me the area, the X value right here, 192.7 pounds. That would be the answer. Okay. Um, let's say I'm just going to add one more question and end this video. Let's say I ask you to find the 70th percentile. So what value is in the 70th percentile, in the location of 70%? So 70th percentile means 70% of the values are below that number that I'm looking for. So it's an area to the left. So to find it, guys, you just do a less than. It's always a less than for percentile. And you have the area, which is 70%. So I'm just going to put a 70% right here, 0.7. And then it's going to give you the X value. All right. What about, guys, if I ask you to find the 50th percentile? 50th percentile is right in the middle. It should be the mean, because the mean is always in the middle. Let's try and show you that it's going to be 172. So for the 70th percentile, guys, it is 182.48 or 49. For the 50th percentile, of course, it's going to be the mean, 172. Watch. There you go. You can see it's 172. And did you notice it's an area to the left? So this is everything that you need to know for Chapter 7, 8.1 and how to do calculations using StatCrunch.